So we are on Halachah, it's chapter 2 and Halachah 3. It's very long Halachah, a lot of details and a lot of explanations. So we did a little less than half of that Halachah. So I'd like to read from the beginning. So we have continuation. Okay. So our goal is not to finish, but our goal of course, is to finish, but to understand thoroughly and don't lose the connection to what we said before. Okay, so only Halachah, no explanations. There are temperaments with regard to which man is forbidden to follow the middle path. He should move away from one extreme and adopt the other. Right? Among these is arrogance. A man is only humble. He is not followed good path. Rather, he must hold himself lowly and his spirit very unassuming. That is why Bamidbar 12:3 describes our teacher Moshe as very humble, right? Not just simply humble, but very humble. Therefore, our sage is directed. Hold oneself very, very lowly, very right. Also they declare whoever is arrogant is denied God's presence, as implied in Dvarim 8:14, and your heart will be haughty, and you will forget God. Right. So like that's what it is with all of the arrogant people, as we said last time. Right. Who is God? Like I'm in charge. Right. It all depends on me. Okay. Furthermore, they said whoever is arrogant should be placed under the ban of ostracism, and we discussed the ban of ostracism. This applies even if one is only somewhat arrogant. Okay, so far we commented last time, and it took us 1 hour. HaShem. So let's read the second part, and then we come back and see the commentary. So again, we continue about anger, right? Not continue. We speak a little about anger because anger and arrogance, they go hand in hand, right? So all of the arrogant people, they're angry, guaranteed. There is no arrogant people that is not angry, calm. There is no such a thing. Okay. So from the beginning. Anger is also an exceptionally bad quality. It is fitting and proper that one move away from it and adopt opposite extreme. He should school himself not to become angry, even when it is fitting to be angry. If he should wish to arouse fear in the children, in the household, or within the community, if he is a communal leader and wishes to anger them, and wishes to be angry at them, to motivate them to return to the proper path, he should present an angry front to them, to punish them, but he should be inwardly calm. He should be like the one who acts out his part of angry man in his wrath, but not be angry himself. Okay. So I think maybe we'll split it in 3 parts, because it's a lot of commentary. 3 parts I think is good. So now we're going to do this part again on this paragraph. And it says anger is also exceptionally bad quality. So arrogance is what, and anger is the second one. So let's see commentary. There is a close association between quality of arrogance and anger. As we said, that's in all Musar books, right? If person arrogant, he's angry. Both stem from a basic tendency of egotistic and self-importance, right? When a person is motivated by egotism, He expects others to respect him and accept his ideas. If they do not, he responds with anger. So let's see this commentary again. So it's very, very interesting. First of all, we said there is a close association between arrogance and anger. So why? Because a person see himself as superior to others, right? This egotism and self-importance, and everybody must listen to me. And you know why this happened? Because you did not listen to me. And remember what I told you 5 years ago? We spoke 5 years? Yeah, we spoke 5 years and 3 months ago, right? I remember this conversation. Like, you remember the conversation? Yeah, you did not listen to me. I told you this, and exactly happened as I told you. Like all of these crazy people, right? So, and I told you, and that's why it happened. Maybe HaShem said, maybe HaShem got involved also, maybe, right? Not because you said, maybe, just maybe, right? When a person is motivated by egotism, he expects others to respect him and accept his ideas, and of course he would expect others to show this respect, right? And that's crazy. And if somebody would not show them respect, so he would try to humiliate them, right? If they do not, he responds with anger, right? If they do not show him the respect that he expects, and do not listen to his idea, do not listen to him, so he responds with anger and start cursing everybody out. Okay. It is fitting and proper that one move away from it, I mean from anger, and adopt opposite extreme. So opposite extreme, as we understand, be very, very calm. So don't even think for a second it's easy thing to do, right? So don't kid yourself, unless there are some people who born, it's like they have this tendency to be very, very calm, like nothing is bothering them. When nothing is bothering them, that's also too much. That's not good. As Perky always said, that's just a crazy person, right? He has no feelings. Doesn't matter what's going on. Only if he has his newspaper, his breakfast, the way he likes it, and nothing else matters to that person. And that's also too much, right? So. But to be calm, like in most of the situations, unless, as we said on the next page, that situation calls for it, right? To show at least anger, okay, or to be angry really when it's when Hashem's name is being desecrated, right? You're allowed to be angry. Commentary: Avodat HaMelech attempts to contrast anger, with which Rambam describes as merely improper, with arrogance. So again, he tries to contrast anger with arrogance, okay? Which Rambam states forbidden. Okay, so wow, you see, at least I missed the wording, but Avodat HaMelech did not. Again. So he attempts to contrast anger, which Rambam describes as merely improper, right? Anger is improper, with arrogance, which Rambam said it is forbidden. So big difference. Improper is forbidden. However, the interpretation is difficult to reconcile with the text, since Rambam begins Halachah by stating there are temperaments, the plural. There is both arrogance and anger, with regard to which a man is forbidden to follow in the middle path. Okay, I guess we don't learn anything from this commentary. Okay, so basic. Okay, so we go back to basics, and we said there are two what is it? What do they call it? Temperaments, right? Two temperaments, which we have to state the opposite of this, the opposite, right? So, meaning arrogance and anger. Okay. And it says one should school himself not to become angry, even when it's fitting to be angry. So as Rambam saying, one should school himself. So it's not like he should do. No. Like as we said, it's not so easy, not so simple, not so simple, right? You have to school yourself, meaning you have to teach yourself and train yourself. And if it's not going to work for the first time, guess what? You have a second time, right? You try and you fall and you get up and you dust yourself up and you have to remember that that's a very difficult tendency to get rid of, the anger. Okay, right. The commentaries refer to Tanis 4a interpretation of Keheles 11:10, and remove the anger from your heart. Right? There is a book, remove the anger from your heart. So meaning that you don't have it inside, right? As we spoke before, the society around us, they say the way to control the anger is like push it down, but still keep it, right? But it's not a Jewish way. It's, as we said, like in the past, it's going to explode sooner or later. So our way, it's not to get angry at all. That's healthy, right? Meaning that it's not in your heart. Okay. If he should wish to arouse fear in his children and household or within the community, if it is a communal leader, right, and wishes to be angry at and to motivate them to return to proper path. So as he's saying, in some cases, in one if a person is responsible for other people, yes, you're allowed to show anger, and as we said before, is it in this halachah or not? I'm not sure. Okay, but to your students, right, and to a household, you show them that you're angry. You told them 17 times to do this or not to do that, right? On Shabbos, for example, or to get ready before, right? Don't count on these 18 minutes, for example. So the candle lighting is 18 minutes before the sunset. So can you do milacha in 18 minutes? Yeah, you can do milacha, technically. You can, but practically you should not. You should not. You should be ready like beforehand, unless there is a like emergency situation. But that's exception. Usually we don't live by exception. We live by the rule, right? So the head of the household told them again and again and again, and they take it lightly. So he showed like anger. And it's good for them, right? So now they would be scared, and remember, if we're going to do it again, father is going to be very upset. Not good idea. Okay, right? Very angry. Okay, yeah. I apologize. I'm not sure why I did not see it. I apologize. If he should wish to arouse the fear in children and household. Okay, so it says see Shabbos 105b, which gives several examples of the sages who display anger in the presence of the family for this purpose. As whatever I just explained, I think it's a good example, right? To see that, to show them that they should take these halachas very seriously, right? Or within community, if somebody is community leader, so this head of the household does not have to be a man. If it's a woman and she's a single mother, let's say, so she's that leader. Like sometimes you can be a leader of yourself, right? A single person, a leader of themselves. Sometimes you have to get upset at yourself. How come you're doing exactly the same mistake over and over again? And so there are some people and they know it is a problem, and they continue doing so. You, as a leader of your household, get a little angry. At least show that you're angry, right? To wish, right? So in order to motivate them to return proper path, right? Whatever whoever you're in charge over, he should present the angry front to them to punish them, but he should be inwardly calm. So from outside, so again, as Rambam said. It is forbidden, but here this anger, at least show of the anger, it's for a constructive purpose. For a constructive purpose, many things are allowed. Okay, so it says see guide for perplex. Volume 1, Chapter 54, which describes how the leader of the country should be ruled by intellect and not by his emotions. Though he may not have displayed emotions to motivate his people to produce capacity, he himself should be inwardly affected. He should not be inwardly affected. So let's say again. So see a guide of perplex, which describes that the leader of community should be ruled by his intellect, right? So intellect only. That's one of the things that it's not a good idea to have a woman as a leader, right? Because women, by the nature, the affection is right. They are emotional, right? It's normal. That's their nature, right? If men men, it's not like that. That's why mother always has a mercy on a child. Father is sometimes ready to kill this child on the spot. You understand? Okay. Right. So a leader must rule by intellect, but not by emotions. Emotions are not good. So usually emotions come from Yetzer Hara, and they teach you they give you a wrong advice, almost always. Though he may have display emotions to motivate people to produce to their capacity. So we're talking about this leader of the country, right? So that he's human being and he with them, right? And he wants to encourage them. It is true. He himself should be not inwardly affected, but inside of this leader, he should be very, very ruled by intellect, meaning what is good. Maybe some decisions, like in the history of the country, were painful, but they had to make those decisions. You understand? By intellect, not by emotions. Okay. He should be like one who acts out his part in angry man in his wrath, but not affect himself angry. Right? Again, so even though even when Rambam said it's allowed to show them anger to all these people around you, even sometimes maybe your friends, maybe as we were talking earlier today about when somebody is starting speaking Hilchos in our presence, and sometimes you have to go show this person that you're very upset at them, right? They get a little angry, right? Show them anger, so to stop them. So next time that they would not start up with you and start speaking Hilchos in your presence, right? But again, it's only like facade that you only show that you're angry, but inside you're not. Commentary: the Rambam appears to imply that one should be like the actor playing the role of an angry person, right? That's what it is. Actor that's playing the role, right? And of course, the situation is calling for it. It's not like from nowhere, right? So some people start yelling, are very upset, wherever they saw, whether it happened, did not happen, right? So not like that. Sorry. Thus, the action, the action he displays do not reflect his honor inner feelings. So again, inside of this person, he's calm, she's calm, but they must show this anger for constructive purpose. See also Hilchos Talmud for Halachas 4 and 5, which explain that the teacher should not be easily provoked to anger. Right, so especially today with these children, it's not so easy to be a school teacher, right? Small children, and they just being children, and but sometimes they act insulting. Sometimes adults are being they behave like children, and they insult, and they do not even understand that they insult, and they think it is fine. So if you tell the same thing to them, they would get very insulted. But you not so much. You're different. You could be insulted. It's very interesting. 1 second. Right. So a teacher should not be easily provoked. However, if he feels that the students are not applying themselves, he should display anger to motivate them perform better. Sometimes, right, they start joking around, and right, that's of course a problem. Or like even in a class, right, they will have a live lecture, right, or like in somebody would make fun, or like in my class we have like an open microphone basically. So people speak like sometimes there is a person who likes to take over the conversation. Like who needs you? And you take it a nice one time, tell them twice, and then stop it. Just stop it. Okay, stop it. Just mute yourself. When we need to talk to you, we're going to talk to you. Like sometimes, because it's not it's very embarrassing how this person behave themselves. Okay, himself. Okay. Continue. It was so next part. Let me see if you have any questions. Apologize because we. Okay. Okay, so let me answer this question because it's directly on the top. BeEzrat HaShem. Okay. What is the best way to show anger to family? Is it necessary to raise the voice? It is allowed to make loud noise by slamming hands down. Yes, actually, yes to all of the above. Right, to show angry expression, to raise your voice, right, and to by slamming hands. Yes, absolutely, all of them. Right, to show them that you're upset, very much, even, but inside you should not be upset, as we said. Okay, so that's the way. Okay, so next one. Well, should both the wife and the husband show these angry emotions, or should only one parent be in charge of this? No. With a husband and wife, you have to be a team, right? Even if you don't agree between yourself, that's a separate story. So you're going to sort out later on, but in front of the children there is always unity. Otherwise, you're going to raise little rats, chas v'shalom, and they're going to that. But mommy said, mommy allowed. Why father would punish them, and they would go to mother. Forgot to mention the father punish them, or leave out some details, whatever they did. Right? And 1 second, sorry. 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 So yeah, so they were going to run back and forth, right, from mother to father, and they're going to tell play politics, right? Father allowed me this, mother allowed me that, but it's not the right way. So you always act as a team. So father said yes, mother does not, there's no negotiation with mom. Said no, he said that, yeah, maybe he's not right, that doesn't matter. So he said that, that's a law. Oh, that's the law. Okay, so I'm punished. Yeah, you're punished. Or father said, or mother said, so that's it. That's the only way. But sometimes emotions take over, and you want to be a good parent and let somebody else be a bad parent, and that's a disaster for a kid. They catch very, very fast, and they start manipulating you. Okay. Okay, so we have many questions. Okay, so let's do one more question, and we go back to text, and then come back to try to answer them. Should one avoid showing anger to family when the guests are there? Yes, in front of the guests it's not proper because it's embarrassment. So it's very embarrassing, but you can give them a look, so they can read from your look everything. I mean, it's not like the first time you told them. It's not that they don't know what it's going on. You just look at them, they know what's going on. You understand? Without saying one word, and then you tell them, but yeah, then you tell them. Okay. So let's go a little further. Let's see. Okay. And it says, so I'm going to read the next piece completely. And it says, the early sages said, anyone who becomes angry is like one who worships idols. So everything is here, right? They also said, whenever one becomes angry, if he is a wise man, his wisdom leaves him. If he is a prophet, his prophecy leaves them. The life of the irate is natural life, right? That's scary. So the life of the person who is angry is natural life. He always suffer. Everybody is stupid around him. Everybody is annoying him, and then he told them a million times, man. Therefore, they have directed that one display. Therefore they have, I guess our sages, directed that one should distance himself from anger and accustom himself not to feel any reaction, even to the things which provoke anger. Right. This is a good path. I mean, it's not easy path, but for sure it's a good path. Okay. Good path. This is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. They listen when they are shamed, but they are not. But they do not answer. They do this with love and joys in their suffering. Of them, it says in Shoftim 5:31, and those who love Him, in HaShem, are like the sun which comes out in its strength. So, as you understand, as we all understand, it's a lot of wisdom, holy wisdom in this few sentences. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. The early sages. So who are the early sages? The exact source of Rambam's statement is somewhat problematic. Okay, the Rashbash quote Nedarim 22b as containing this statement. However, our text, that passage contains slightly different expression. A similar but not totally identical statement is found in Shabbat. Okay. The Zohar, the Zohar, volume 1, page 27b, uses precisely the same phraseology as Rambam does here. Okay, I mean, Rambam had the sources. I mean, did we doubt? I don't think so. Okay, so let's see. Okay, the early sages said, anyone who becomes angry is like one who worships idols. And we have to, I'm sure all of us heard this expression, but we need to know, what does it mean? Like, how do I worship idols? Somebody, make me angry, right? I'm worshiping idols. What is the connection? And it says, if a person appreciated that the matter which provoked his anger came from God, he would accept it without question. Why does he become upset? Because he does not think about God and is preoccupied with his own concerns. But it says Tanya, Igeres HaKodesh 25. Okay. Igeres HaKodesh. I think it's Rambam, Igeres HaKodesh. Okay, but I mean the same idea, but again. So how is the one who is angry is worshiping idols, right? Because he does not understand that HaShem set up the situation, so whether to test a person, right? To test and reward the person, or this situation should doesn't matter how bad it looks right now. It should bring a lot of good. How do you know? Right, so don't draw any conclusion. Just because it looks bad does not mean it should end up bad, right? So it's very, very important. Right, but when person denies that Hashem involvement, so he's very angry, right? Very angry. Okay. So again, because he does not think about God in that point, and preoccupied with his own concerns. Of course, there are other explanations. How is it that he's worshiping idols? Right, again, like a little different explanation, that he thinks that everything depends on him, right? It's only because his power, his ability, right? And then it did not work for whatever reason, because of other people, because of himself, that he was stupid, this and that. Or a third explanation is that the one who is angry, so he acts irrationally. So meaning, if you saw somebody is angry, so he started breaking things. How does it help? And I saw with my own eyes a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times, when a person had a conversation with somebody, very angry, very loud, and they smash their phone on the wall. Like, how does it help? Like that person disconnect. Like, even they did not this. Like, how does it help? And like cell phone, like very expensive, maybe $1,000 a cell phone. How did they help you? Like that you lose all your contacts unless you did a backup. How did it help you? All the pictures and all of these things. Like I have no idea, right? So of course the person would act irrationally. All right. So whatever the action is not going to resolve the situation, the issue. Right, and and I would suggest say, if you ask this person, and even this person was very religious person, right, and you ask him to let's go worship idols, even though like before he got or she got angry, it was like sound like they would smack you or something, right? But now that when they state, okay, so let's go worship idols. Maybe he's going to bring me back, like fix the situation or something. Understand? That's if a person is like even considering worshiping idols, it's like he or she already worship idols, right? So like 3 different explanations, but all of them fits perfectly in this sentence. Again, as I would suggest say, and anyone who becomes angry, it's like one who worshiping idols. They also said in Pesachim 66b, whenever one becomes angry, he is like if he's a wise man, his wisdom leaves him. Right, and famous example, right? It's here is about Moshe. It was, I think, a few weeks ago in a parsha that Pinchas said what to do. Right? How I think about koshering vessels, right? Gold and silver and tin and lead, all of this, like how if it was used with the water. You have to pass through the water. Like why Pinchas is speaking? Like Moshe is a teacher. Yeah, Moshe teacher is, and he actually taught them these lessons, but he himself forgot. Why? Because he became angry with this Midianite women captive. Right, of course, and it was, and it's very interesting, right? From everything that we learn today, if it would be only to show like an angry facade, right, to show that he is angry, but inside would not be angry. It's he would not forget, but he was truly angry and upset, and he had all of the rights to be upset. So it's not like they did something to him, but the issue was like he was upset because many people died because they sinned with these women, and now the soldiers they took them captives. Like, you normal, what are you doing? And some of the people who sinned with the women, or like saw the women, thought about sinning with them, and they see them again. So guess what? They might have improper thoughts. Did he have legitimate reasons to get angry? I think absolutely. Me personally, I would get very, very upset and very, very angry. Me personally, right? But that's how Rambam said, you have to school yourself, you have to work on yourself. So, but Moshe Rabbeinu got very angry and he forgot halachas. Right? His wisdom, halachas is wisdom. Even though he was a teacher, he taught them. Okay, 42. Right. So next example, if he's a prophet, his prophecy leaves him. Elisha, I think. Right. So it's from Kings 2, chapter 3. Relates after Elisha vented wrath on Jehoram, king of Israel. He had 6 special means to regain his spiritual prophecy. And Yehoram was, let's put it this way, Yehoram was not the biggest tzaddik in the world. He was idol worshiper, right? So right, but Elisha was a prophet, so he had no right to get angry at him, right? Show anger, yes, like to deliver a message as a prophet, yes, but he was also very zealous, right? But whatever he said, he did not act in protecting his own honor. It was a message from HaShem, and he was very upset that this northern kingdom was worshipping idols. That's why he got angry with the king. King, of course, he was the biggest idol worshiper, right? And he lost this power of prophecy, and they had to restore it. The musicians and the like. So next one, the life of the irate is not true life, right? And me personally, I know a few people like that, and they always grumpy, and they always complain, always. And sometimes if the guy is smiling, I know women like that. I mean, it's like I'm talking to women. I mean, of course, from this women you have to run away. But the guys like always, like everything is so dark. And if the guy is smiling, it's like some sarcastic lashon hara that you can lose the alam haba for. That's it. That's the only time that he would smile, which is very, very sad. Of course, it's annoying to be around this person on one hand, but on the other hand, I feel so bad for these people, so bad, right? Everything is very, very dark. It's okay. So commentary say Pesachim 113b. There is because the life is spent in constant irritation and discord, right, with others, talking to themselves about government, about protest, not protest, all this doctor, good doctor, bad doctor, all wife, no wife, all this stupid things. Okay, so continue. Therefore they directed that one distance himself from anger. So I would say distance himself from anger, and accustom himself not to feel any reaction, even to the things which provoke anger. This is a good path. I'm going to read one more time. Therefore, they have directed that one distance himself from anger, right, and accustom himself not to feel any reaction, even to things which provoke anger, right? So again, all of these examples that you gave, it's not like they got angry from nothing. It's not because they personally were insulted or something. It was for a holy cause. Understand? It's to be zealous to Hashem. It's all of them, all of these examples. Moshe, Elisha, who was it? Okay, other people. Right. One second. Okay. One sec. So don't feel any reaction, even to things that provoke anger. This is a good path. So it's a good path, and it's proper path, and all of us started with me have to work on ourselves. And I think it's my personal understanding, and I've been contemplating it for a very long time. Put yourself some kind of reminder, right? Reminder maybe every half an hour, every 15 minutes, whatever. Maybe 15 minutes would be very annoying, and it would lose importance. That Hashem might test you in the next 1 hour. Right? Just be ready. So whatever is not going to go according to your plan, Hashem is testing you. Right, and for example, I was trying to do some chesed for somebody, and a person says yes, person said no, and then they start giving a very hard time. So in person, I was ready to, like I said, please leave me alone. Thank you very much. Just and then I said, look, maybe maybe person have a special circumstance. Maybe this, maybe that. So like, don't get upset, don't get angry. So just because you want to do good, and just because I wanted to do chesed to somebody, now I expect that this person is going to return this chesed. Not necessarily. I mean, right, right. They might treat it a little different, right? So which is okay, which is okay. So our job, like, first of all, I would say not to reply right away. So if you like, and if you don't know how to reply good, for example, somebody left you a message, delete the message, like it never was never there. That's it. So that's my personal advice how to deal with other people, and some try not to respond. Take yourself take your time, maybe 1 day, 2 days. Like if somebody like close you, insulted you, maybe a week, or I don't know, maybe longer, and try to contemplate and see, like, find the positive things in it, and move forward. Okay. So this is a good path. 45. With regard to the most temperaments, the middle path is a good path, right? As we said many times. However, anger is an exception, and a good path is extreme complete lack of the anger. So, and 1 second, let me check that. And when we said it's extremely important. So what does it mean, extremely important? Extremely important means that Satan is he also knows that it is extremely important, and it's also know that it's a very good midah, and he is going to test us like there is no tomorrow. You understand? So we have to expect that we're going to get tested. Just because we decided to work on ourselves and to swallow from time to time, and like our pride and this and that, and try to be not prideful, and try to work on ourselves, does not mean that it's going to work all the time. But we have to count, like even I could have exploded like 17 times today, and I exploded only 3. Whoa, or I don't know. From 17 maybe to 3 it's too much, but as 10 or 11, right, or even 15. So, and we try to like work on ourselves and bring it down. Okay. Complete lack of anger. Okay, continue. Okay, so I try to finish this halachah. This is a way. This is a way of righteous of the righteous. So righteous, so v'derech tzadikim. So tzaddik, right, is actually a person who does like halachah. Tzaddik is not a person who does above the law. So, and that's what Rambam is saying. That's a proper path, like in this book, as he called it, the book of Halachah, and that's what we have to do, right? So, the following statement, without this the following statement, without this introduction, is found in Shabbos 82b, Yoma 23a, Gittin 36b. However, the association of these qualities with the righteous can be found in Sifri. Okay, Volume 11. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so continue. So again, this is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. Right. So just remain quiet. Right, and as we were trying to answer the questions last week. So, and if you feel that you like this time you kept quiet, next time you kept quiet, but the third time you're going to explode. That's too much. The person is pushing more and more. So so you're not obligated to take these humiliations, right? Unless you want to be like, I don't know, Moshe Rabbeinu, right? And it's proper to distance from people like that, right? Because when we quiet, in some sense, we put a stumbling block in front of the person. Like they do not understand that it's because you're working, because of your niceness, you don't answer, not because they're right. Okay. So for their own good, it's proper for us to distance from them. Okay. So right, but anyway, they humiliate us. We don't humiliate them, unless again it's somebody who goes against Hashem. That's like a missionary or some degenerate Jews. Like yeah. So they humiliate you or humiliate Hashem. Like that's you have open ticket to humiliate them. That's not a problem. All right. Of course, if they knowing like they know what they do, like most of the people, they so primitive. They so not like and people like sometimes on a different channel, right? That they like you see that they know some words, them keywords, right? They listen to the speakers, and we got what is it? The commentary from somebody said that your class is so different. You have no like sgulas. You don't have like history. Or you don't have too much like politics. You don't have current events. Other garbage like you teach the truth of the Torah. Right, and people like they like, of course, they like the stories, they like the politics. Iran is going to win, Iran not is going to, so all of the things, and it attracts them, but they do not know what to do as a Jews. That's the problem. Of course, you can spend 7.5 minutes on that, but to have the whole lecture about it, right? Like all the current events and like what happened, what did not happen, what might happen. That's or jokes. That's sgulas. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. So, and people do not know like left or right. So to these people, maybe not to attack them, but try to explain them. Try to give them some sources. Most likely it's not going to work. Just so you know. I tried, most likely. Because after listening to lectures so many years, like to all the clowns, so they think that they know Torah. Okay. That's incomplete lack of anger. Okay. Continue. This is the way of the righteous, right? 1 second. I apologize, I may miss what comment. With regard to the most temperaments, the middle path is a good path. However, anger is an exception, and good path is extreme, complete lack of anger. I think we said that. Okay. Continue. This is a path of the righteous. They accept humiliation, but do not humiliate others. Okay. They listen when they are shamed, but they do not answer. Right? Is it easy like to like? And sometimes it can give impression that whatever they say is true, and you just quiet because there's nothing to say, right? They're 100% right. But if you remember, we said many times at Chofetz Chaim in laws of Lashon Hara and laws of Rechilus. Mostly, right. So even and he said, even if this person speaks about somebody else, like in his presence, in her presence, and that person is quiet, does not prove anything. Just because they're quiet does not prove that they admit the things. Maybe, and he gives, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different reasons why they keep quiet, why they don't answer. Maybe they, right? Maybe they work on this midah. Right, to be a righteous person, be among the humiliated and not humiliate back. Right, does not mean that the person humiliate them is right. Right, and another example was that they know if they try to answer you, not you, if they try to answer the speaker, they going to bring even more damage, even more like humiliations. So they try to put it down, right? It's very interesting. Or the third one, Chofetz Chaim teaches like even if they answer, they know nobody's going to listen to them, so there is no point, right? And same is Moshe Rabbeinu. One of the sources is Moshe Rabbeinu. The people were complaining, and he just fell to the ground on his face without like answering them. And who could he answer? Absolutely, right? But he because he Rashi explains, right, that they would not take whatever he says. Doesn't matter. He's right, not right. He would not. Doesn't matter, right? So just because somebody is quiet when being attacked publicly, does not mean that he is wrong. And even we said, Chaim said, even if this person is known always to answer everyone, there is people like you give him word, they give you 17 back, right? And that person is quiet, so people, usually he replies. She has such a big mouth. If it would not be true, she would answer. No, you don't know. And when I say you don't know, this is Halachah, accepted Halachah, meaning from Chafetz Chaim. Okay, so let's see the commentary. Very powerful stuff here. Okay, so in chapter 5, Halachah 13, so read chapter 2, just so you know. Right, and in Hilchos De'ot 5:11, in Hilchos Talmud Torah 7:13, the Rambam also refers to this passage. Significantly, in Hilchos De'ot, the Rambam refers to the pious behavior undertaken by wise. So pious is a chassid. So pious is something like extra. Tzaddik is a general halacha, just so we know. Right? So there he called this person pious behavior undertaken by wise. So meaning above the letter of the law. That relates very close to the theme of this halacha, which speaks about adopting the extreme attitude regarding these two qualities of pride and anger. So extreme, not because of the one chooses the path of piety over the middle path of wise, but because with regard to this quality, the middle path is difficult to follow. So that's the key phrase. We're going to come back. Perhaps this is Rambam's intent, describing this as the very righteous, the way of the righteous, instead of using the term pious or wise, which he employed in previous halachas. We're dealing with a person who does not have a commitment to the path of piety, does not have. Rather, to ensure that his behavior will continue to be righteous, he deviates from the path of the wisdom to the extreme in these specific areas. So this second part of this commentary we're going to read again, and I'm going to explain every word, maybe every idea, BeEzrat HaShem, because it is a key understanding. We try to compare before, like what we said in chapter 1, when we said it's proper to go in the middle path, which is no extreme. And here we say that in this halakha we said only extreme. For this anger and arrogance, only extreme, right? And this commentary is going to explain us why. So again, okay. So I'm going to start from the most important part, and it says that relates very close to the theme of this halakha, right? Which speaks about adopting extreme attitudes regarding these two qualities, pride and anger, and not because they chose the path of piety or the middle path, the wise, right? The wise is a tzaddik, right? Tzaddik he's wise, because he's wise, right? To go in the ways of HaShem, right? And commentary says here that. In this case, a person is not changing from his ways of the wise, like to go in the middle and go to the extreme, at extra, to be a chassid. But because with regard to these qualities in the middle path, it's difficult to follow. So I think that's a key word, keywords, right? A key idea. It is still the formula did not change. Right, whatever Rambam said in the first, in the first chapter, absolutely stands. It's proper to go in the middle path, right, with all of the character traits. But these two is very hard to maintain, to be in the middle path. Very hard. So very hard, close to impossible. That's why he said we have to move over, move to the another extreme. Not because it is halacha, but it's in order to comply with halacha, you have to do something extra. So you have some rabbinic decree, as as we're going to learn in our Wednesday class. So we're going to start in introducing what is the biblical requirement, right? And then we said, well, what is the rabbinical, and we'll be going to build up like slowly, and you will see what is the difference, right? Biblical as a base, and then rabbinical in order not to come close to transgress biblical. That's it. So this is exactly what we're saying here. So if we will only leave the biblical there, most likely people are going to transgress. How often? Like every time, right? Because of the rabbinical. So that's why it protects biblical. So exactly the same here. Is it proper to go middle path? Absolutely. Is a person is going to be called tzaddik if you go middle path? Absolutely. But in order to be tzaddik with these two, it's not so simple. It's not so simple because a person can be easily swayed to the other direction. That's why he said go to extreme. So again, these keywords is with regard to this quality, the middle path is difficult to follow. So again, if a person, for example, right, he going to follow, he's going to call tzaddik, 100%. Perhaps this is what Rambam intend in describing this as the way of the righteous, right? Instead of the term of the pious, right? So here Rambam said he does not call it what is it, Hasid. He does not call this person who does extreme Hasid, but he called him tzaddik. How come? We just said it's not Halachah, right? Why? Right? Because he wants to follow Halachah. So in order to follow Halachah with these two extreme character traits, anger and right, like this anger and arrogance. So it's not going to work otherwise. Okay. Right. So why is one second, which he employed in the previous halachas. We are dealing with a person who does not have commitment to the path of piety. Right. Again, and he reminds us it's not like a person try to go on a path to be a tzaddik, to cleanse himself, tahara, all of these beautiful things. No, we're not talking about that. We're like a person just want to follow halachah. Right? Rather to ensure that his behavior will continue be righteous, right? To continue to be righteous. He deviates from the path of wisdom to the extreme of these specific areas. Okay, right. So rather to ensure that his behavior will continue to be righteous. So as we said, and it's not so simple, he deviates his behavior. So he adds like to make it more stricter from the path of wisdom, like middle path, to the extreme in these two areas. Okay, no problem. 47. Okay, so let's quickly read the whole line. And it says, this is the way of the righteous. They accept humiliation but do not humiliate others. They listen when they are shamed, but they do not answer. They do this with love and joy and joys in their suffering. Okay. So, and I mean, to do that is one thing, but to enjoy their suffering, that's a lot, right? It's a little too much. So how can you enjoy their suffering? So as we said before, if a person would understand that everything that is going on, it's a sign from HaShem, right? So maybe he or she is not going to get so upset. Okay. So that's meaning that HaShem is testing me. So I used to fail in this area like every time, but now after working on myself, after learning this, so I'm a different person, and now I can get better alam haba, better connection with Hashem, meaning what? That I follow what he said. Okay, so let's see commentary. Humility and suppression of anger are not meant to be accompanied by gloom and depression. So rather they are there to be experienced as a joy and love. Unhappiness stems from self-awareness. The more one is concerned with himself, the more needs, wants, and desires he feels. and the more he dissatisfies with those needs are not fulfilled. Right? In a contrast, when a person rises above the self-concern, the qualities of patience and humility become spontaneous and natural expression of his character. It is not that he wants honor and, and respect, but holds himself back because our sages advise, right? Or would really like, or would really like to unleash his anger, but realizes that doing so is wrong. Rather, one rises above these negative emotions entirely. Right? In this context, Rambam describes in his commentary to the Mishnah Avos 4:4 how a pious man was subjected to the lowest form of the denigration by a colleague and was able to undergo the entire experience without the slight thought of anger and discontent. Okay, so let's try to understand this commentary, and there are a few very deep ideas. So let's try to read again and explain. Right, humility and suppression of anger are not meant to be accompanied by gloom and depression. So again, it's what he's saying, as we said before, in society, what they do, they teach us how, this psychiatrists, they teach how to suppress anger. So how to think about this person, how he's miserable, this and that, and that they humiliate us, but we should not respond and stuff like that. And our way is not like that. It's not in this way, a person would be in a gloom, as he said, in gloom and depression state all the time. So I have to swallow. They can do whatever they want, and I have to swallow all the bad things. It's only, as I said many times, it's only a recipe for disaster. Rather, they are to be experience joy and love, right? They being humiliated. So, and if the things do not humiliate us, meaning we know that it's test from HaShem, and this life is passing, speeding away from us very, very, very fast. So it's only another opportunity to not to get angry, to pass the test and get on the next level of holiness. What could be better? But it's easy to say now when we're in the class, but it's much harder in real life, right? When we're in real life, when we're under pressure, monetary pressure, other pressures, so that's not so simple. But if we at least understand and start contemplate it day by day, and I tried pick some things that anger us during the day, every day. Maybe some people annoy us, and try to work on those specific things, small things that you can handle, right? And then from the small things, you can go to the bigger ones. Okay, so again, unhappiness stems from self-awareness, right? So meaning self-awareness, what does it smell? So self-awareness, the person thinks that they're making fun of me, this and that. That's self-awareness, unhappiness, right? And I have to put up with these people. That's too much. The more one is concerned with himself, right? The more needs, wants, and desire he feels. Right? The more person, again, concerned with himself, the more needs, if he or she is the center of the universe, and now everybody have to serve me. So that's the problem, and all of the needs and wants and desires feels, and the more ways when a person makes himself vulnerable to all of the insults. Right, that's and the self-conscious person, they take everything personally. They did it maliciously. They wanted to humiliate. That's the way they speak. And sometimes what I do in the shul, one of the mitzvot that I'm trying to do, if there is nobody else, sometimes other people who've been doing it for a long time, but when they pick up the Torah, and one guy is sitting with the Torah, and another have to dress it up, right? So I would come over to the bima, and I would handle the guy the belt. He would close the belt, and I would handle the guy the mantle, and then this. What is it? I don't know. What is it, like medallion with like a what say for Torah? Is it like all of these things? And some people say thank you. Like I mean, they have to watch the Torah. They would not going to fall. Like all of these things. So thank you. And some people like it's their nature, and they don't even take things. They grab from you. Trying to be nice, they grab for you. So I mean, if a person is going to get upset with all of these people that you try to be nice and help them to do the mitzvah, and they grab for you and they forget about thank you, right? But even like this, it's not healthy attitude. Okay. 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 So again, the whole sentence. So, the more one concerned with himself, the more needs, wants, desires he feels, and the more he dissatisfies when these needs are not fulfilled, right? Because there are so many of them. In a contrast, when a person rises above self-concern, so it's not about me, right? Nobody owe me anything. The qualities of the patience and humility become spontaneous, right? The patience and humility, and natural expression of his character. Okay, it's one sentence, but we need to work on this all of our lives, just so you know. It is not that he wants honor and respect, but holds himself back because the sage's advice, right? It's not like he does not want, right? Maybe he wants honor, but he knows what the sages say about this honor, that it's drive a person away, away from this world, and shortens a person's life. That's not healthy, right? Or he would really like to unleash his anger, but realize that doing so is wrong, right? Meaning our sage that it's like idol worshiper. So Hashem sees me as idol worshiper. I said this morning I love him like 17 times after that, and now that's and he's going to see me as an idol worshiper. No, thank you, but no. Rather, one who rises above the negative emotion entirely, meaning that does not have. It's not like it's suppressed, but does not have entirely. Right? In this context, Rambam describes the commentary in the Mishnah, Avos 4:4, how pious man was subjected to lowest form of denigration by a colleague. Was able to undergo the entire experience without slightest a thought of anger or discontent. I don't remember exactly what it says, but I think it was it Rambam, was somebody else? Maybe it was somebody else. So the person was sleeping, and he was a very important rabbi, and he was sleeping in the upper deck or in a ship, and then this Arab came and started peeing his face, basically. Right, and this rabbi, when he it's humiliation, everybody were laughing. Of course, he's a low life. This Arab, that's what they do, right? But this rabbi did not get angry, and he said that when it's his first time, so I realized that what is to be humble, right? I think that's the story. Maybe I'm mistaken. And last sentence. Of these people, it says Shoftim 5:31, and those who love him, meaning Hashem, are like the sun that comes out in its strength. So and that's how Hashem sees these people, right? Who overcame their anger, right, and no longer angry. So let's see. There is one commentary, and we stop. The ability to rise above self-concern. So why people have this anger about self-concern stems from all-encompassing love of God. Meaning Hashem sent me this test because I need it. It's not because the other person is stupid. Yeah, he might be stupid, maybe not so much, right? But he wanted to do this to me for whatever reason. But right, but at the end of the day, Hashem signed up on, so He allowed that person do this to me. Why? Because it's for my own good. Because Hashem doesn't, like, whatever comes from Hashem is always good, right? In Hilchos Teshuvah 10.3, 10.3, I think it's the last chapter about love of God. I think Rambam writes, "What is the proper degree of love?" Here we go, of love. That a person should love God with a very great and exceeding love. He will always be obsessed with this love, as it were lovesick. A lovesick person thought never diverts from love of that woman. He is always obsessed with her, with an even greater love. Should the love of God be implanted in the heart of those who love Him? Okay. So let's read this one more time, and it's a lesson of its own. What does it mean to love God, right? So, and Rambam, in his great wisdom, he compares the love to God to love of a woman, to a woman, right? Being lovesick. So again, what is the proper degree of love? That the person should love God with a great and exceeding love. Right? What is great and exceeding love? So we have to compare. He will always be obsessed with the love, with this love, as the word lovesick, right? Meaning that when somebody is lovesick, so he continue thinking about this lady, for example. A man is about this lady and what she's doing, what she's eating, what did she think about what I said, what I did not say about my gift. Maybe the flowers were too short, maybe too fresh, maybe this, maybe that, maybe maybe I had to iron my trousers better next time because she looked at it, it's funny. So all of those details, it's always like he would contemplate all of the things, how I should make her happy, maybe take her to this place, to that place. So all of these things, right? So that's meaning that a person's life sick. So again, a life-sick person thoughts never diverted from the love of his woman, as it says about Yaakov Avinu, right? He said that this 7 years was like a few days in my eyes. It's usually it's opposite. When you wait for something, the time drags very, very long. But when you love with somebody, since he's thinking about this woman every second of his life, this work, this other life is just passing by, no problem. He's always obsessed with her, continues Rambam, with an every greater love, with even a greater love, should the love of God be implanted in the hearts of those who love Him. So all of the people who said they love God is they're not even they sometimes I start laughing. I mean, I'm trying not but inside, inside. Of course, we're trying not to embarrass anybody, but you love God. How do I know what love is? And when you start describing them, what is love, and then are you this person? And person said, yes, maybe I'm not on that level. Oh, you're not on that level. Let's start. Forget about love at this moment. But try to get yourself from a category that Hashem actually hates, and He said clearly that I hate these people. Okay, then we talk about love. You first. Take yourself from a list of the haters, and then we see about love. To continue the comparison mentioned by Rambam, a person who is deeply in love is not at all concerned with honor of pride, right? So she's humiliate me, this and that. So that does not matter. So if she humiliated me, right, she did not answer me, whatever, it's my fault. So it's always my fault. When it's my fault, always my fault. Right, so where is pride? There is no pride. Very interesting. He's willing to do many things which would ordinarily consider undignified, right? To make you laugh, right? All these silly things to express his love, right? The same applies regarding the love of God, because of one's great love, he is willing to ignore His honor and control his anger. So here's, of course, the punchline. Because of one's great love, right, to Hashem, he's willing to ignore His honor, right? So because Hashem said so, because that's what He sent it to me, right? And control his anger. Okay, so we're done with this halakha. So you see, it's very long halakha, but very, very powerful. Very, very a lot of lessons. Of course, we're trying to stick to the text, but you understand that you can do it in 17 classes as well. Okay, developed it. Okay, but it's not our topic. Our topic, stick to halacha with like very practical. Okay, so let's see. What time is it? Maybe take a break. You know what? Let's take a break, 5 minutes, and